Welcome to my YouTube channel. If you're just joining us for the first time, I am Godwin Okri, an investment strategist, a writer, a TV host, and a lawyer. Today, I want to talk to you about the 4 biblical investment principles that you may find useful. Can I just say, first of all, that the Bible doesn't frown upon you making money or being profitable or being wealthy. It doesn't frown at all on that. It frowns on the lust for money as being the root of all evil, not that money itself is bad. So we've taken that out of the way. Now let's look at the 4 investment principles enshrined in the Bible. The first is the need to get investment training. So if you're looking to invest in stocks and shares, derivatives, debentures, gold, commodities, or real estate, you will need investment training. And there are different areas you could get that, and just check on go online and you will get that. Now the advantage of having training is that it equips you for the market you're looking to go into. And if you look at Proverbs 15:22, it makes it very clear that get counsel. Counsel means get advice, get training. When you get counsel, you increase in wisdom and understanding, and that puts you in a better position in the market. So that's the first biblical investment principle you will find. The second investment principle enshrined in the Bible is the need to create capacity. Before I take you to the relevant verse in the Bible, let me define what capacity is. Capacity means efficacy. It means opportunity. So if you increase your efficacy or opportunity, you will do well in the market. Remember 2 Kings chapter 4, 1 to 7. In 2 Kings chapter 4, 1 to 7, you remember Elisha and the widow. The widow had oil, no vessel. And Elisha said, go get a lot of vessel, empty vessel, and then fill the oil in that vessel and sell. The more empty vessel she had, the more she was able to fill with oil, and the more money she was able to make. When the capacity stopped, in other words, when the vase, the empty vessel stopped, the profit stopped. So the principle there is, if you increase your capacity, you put yourself in a better position in the market and you make money as a result. There are 4 kinds of capacity. You have emotional capacity, intellectual capacity, time capacity, and of course you have physical capacity. When you talk about emotional capacity, it talks about your emotion. If your emotion is stopping you from growing, work on it. Because when you work on your emotion, you're creating capacity. If you're very emotive, very fearful, fear will stop you entering the market, stop you trading, stop you investing. You have to work on your fear. And fear itself is frowned upon in the Bible because it says, fear not. So work on emotion, and that's capacity. The second aspect of capacity is intellectual capacity. So if you're into any market, maybe in stocks and shares and derivatives or debentures, you need to understand the market. And when you understand the market, create capacity, create your wisdom in that market. And by doing that, you put yourself at a better position. The third kind of capacity, of course, is time capacity. If you spend more time on something, you get better at it, right? So the more time you spend on something, the more you create capacity or opportunity or efficacy, and the more profitable it becomes. And the last kind of capacity, of course, is physical capacity. You have to physically do something. If you're not doing anything, if you don't act, you don't benefit. So by acting out, by being physically present, you create capacity. Say you're a salesperson. You walk a mile to during your sale. Do 2 miles, do 3 miles. The more miles you do, the more capacity you create and the more people you meet, and that will be beneficial in your market. So that's the second biblical principle of investment in the Bible. Now let's turn to the third biblical investment principle, and that is actually invest. So the Bible encourages you to invest, and that itself is a biblical principle. Let me take you to Matthew 25, 14 to 30. That tells you, for those who remember that story, a man who had many servants, and to one servant he gave 5 talents, to his second servant he gave 2 talents, to the third servant he gave 1 talent. The servant with 5 and 2 talents, invested it, and made 100% return on investment. The man told those 2 servants, good and faithful servant, because you've done well, keep that investment. Because you've done well in the little things, you could do well in greater things, in bigger things. The servant with the 1 talent didn't invest it, and the man criticized this servant. He called him wicked and lazy. He was wicked because he didn't benefit from the investment, and he was lazy because he just buried the talent. So that basically tells you that the Bible wants efficiency. So it encourages you to invest and get return on investment. So for those of you who want to know more about it, go to Matthew 20-25, 10 to chapter 10, 14 to 30, and you'll find the story there. The final kind of investment principle in the Bible is, of course, the need to diversify your investment. If you want to know more in the Bible, go to Ecclesiastes 11:2, and that tells you that you try and diversify your investment, because in the time of trouble, in the time of recession, if you diversify, that protects you. It's like a buffer. But if you're a mono investor, or you're just in 9-to-5 job and you're made redundant, that's a difficulty. So you have to diversify your investment to protect you, almost like a buffer. So those are the 4 investment principles you'll find in the Bible. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you do, please smash the like button and turn on your notification bell. And of course, if you do, we're going to be sending you more videos. I remain Godwin Okri. Until next time, it's goodbye from me.